someone by the name of Dotsie Isaac. I remember that name. I think she was once.
I'm not too sure I want to waste any time with her in my dear brother,
Okay.
because I mean she looking attention. As I said to you, I mean her forte. You know what she's known for? She left her husband and go and take with Jackie Quinn, Leandro from her husband, and they've been cohabiting. Not them hitting them based on their sexuality, but that's what she's known for. I know at one point she was a secretary, being paid some ridiculous money. So, talking about nepotism. So here's a situation in which Jackie was a minister, Jackie Quinn. Moved she woman into the ministry as executive secretary and paid her far more than any other secretary in the system. So that is what she misses. So she called me all kind of names, so that's fine. I mean, doesn't matter. What I know is that what I say about them, about being charlatans and losers and loafers, that's exactly what they are. Because since then she has since the government changed. Clearly, she had to go because she was part of the political staff of Jackie Quinn, and she hasn't done anything constructive for the last 7 years. I mean, those of you who rely on politics to survive, you all will always be bitter. But somebody gave me a scripture for her. Romans 1:24-30, and it speaks about the sinful desires of the hearts and the sexual impurity of certain individuals. But there's a particular area in which it says that they have become filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, greed, and depravity. They are all full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, and malice. They are gossips, slanderers, God-haters, insolent, arrogant, and boastful. They invent ways of doing evil. They disobey their parents. So that is verse 29, which I think is quite an apt description of Dotsie. Again, Romans 1:24. If you look at 24, describe her appropriately. And 29 speaks to her wicked actions, evil, greed, and depravity, that they're full of envy, murder, and strife, deceit, and malice. Everything that people do, they grudge. Some years ago, I'm going to wrap up now so we can take calls, but some years ago, when we had a lot of criminal activities, some youngsters were robbing people and so on one occasion, police took out about 3 of them. And I said to them, look, rather than go and rob people, and the message is very appropriate now too, because we have a spate of robberies right now. I said to them, go and grow some crops, burn some coal, raise some pigs and some chicken. And they found it funny. Now that I am actually doing precisely that, growing my crops as a farmer, and soon for now I'm going to have my chicken and my pigs, they envy me over that too. So these people are just sinful. They can't help themselves. People stop listening to the meetings now because all they do is to curse me. They call me all kind of names. I'm in fact, Dotsie say I'm Antichrist. Okay, fine. I'm the Antichrist. Okay, call me anything. As far as I'm concerned, I'm fair game, because at the end of the day, I describe you all appropriately. I don't know that anything that you all say about me is true. And as I said to you all, when you all get personal, be careful, because you have every single member in the UPP. They have more weaknesses than me. I have my weaknesses, but they're not as numerous as those of the UPP. So if you get personal, you're still going to get licks. Okay. Because you have more weaknesses than me.
All right, Honorable Prime Minister, when I mentioned Dotsie, I was thinking more in terms of her, I think, being a sibling of Giselle Isaac. So I thought maybe she was buttressing and reinforcing what I think is her sister. I hadn't made the Jackie Quinn connection, because I certainly don't hear Jackie Quinn cussing you like that and, having so much to say about you, even though I'm sure she criticizes you as a member of the UPP. So I thought it was the sibling thing. I didn't know that there was so much more to it. So you were right. You probably are better off not giving the oxygen of attention to those kinds of personalities and so on, if these are the things that they say. Because the things that you have enumerated, if in fact they are true for the individual, then that individuals of all people should not be calling anyone Antichrist, So we're going to leave it at that.
That's the irony about it now.
Yeah.
They say when you have cocoa in the sun,
Yeah.
you know what not to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't understand them. Stick to the issues. And, every Saturday that we come in this program, we discuss issues. We deal with a little politics. We'll call them out from time to time. But when we call them out, it's in response to what they are saying, in the media, generally speaking. So, as I said to them, I will play that game because they have far more weaknesses than me.
Yeah. And I mean, this is someone who considers herself a poet, So if you are a poet, there should certainly be a lot more refinement about an individual who's a poet. Refinement in language, refinement in expression, and certainly even refinement in the kind of height of thinking that artistic people like to project and so on. That kind of language really has no place in what we consider to be the rarefied mindset of people who are into artistry and poetry and that sort of thing. So,
Shelton, you're so right. But then when you listen to herself and Lovell, and this is a recent outing by the UPP, they have not said anything that is edifying. I mean, they haven't said anything that would show any form of intellectual superiority. They have not said anything that will help the people of Antigua and Barbuda. So you just have these meetings to cost members of the Labour Party. What value does that create for